So, hello everyone. Welcome to the next episode of our Tech Talks podcast. I am your host, Sanskriti Kadam, and
I am Krishi Shah, and we are with us Sarthak Bhan, who has achieved the highest campus placement at TJ College of Engineering. He has also won SIH 22 Hackathon and was a finalist at EY Techathon at 2024. Welcome, Sarthak. Can you
Thanks
introduce
for
yourself?
having me. Okay. So like they said, I am like relatively new, passed out from the college, from DJ Sangvi in like currently this year, 2024, from CS branch. And yeah, I guess they summed it up pretty much about what I did. I a bit here and there, but like nothing much to, point out specifically. But yeah, currently I am placed in JTP. It's Japan third party in Tokyo. I'm working here. So yeah, excited for the podcast.
yeah, I have a question for you. Like, as you had just mentioned right now that you have, moved to Japan a week ago and you're
Yeah.
about to start a new role over there in Tokyo.
hmm Yeah.
So, can you talk a bit about a life in Japan?
Uh, I think if you've seen, it's a running joke in our country. Not really in our country, but like in more specifically within Indians in my
Hmm.
company, in especially in Tokyo. It's a bit weird. I won't name a YouTuber, but there is a YouTuber who is, um, accused of like portraying the life in Tokyo in a specific way, which in reality it's not like that. So, I mean, so most likely you will live alone in your own rented apartment because it's a bit of legal issue. Not really a legal issue, but like it's more convenient for you legality wise if you live alone because all the resident card and everything related to that. It's better if you own, not like own, but like rent a house on your own name. You cannot do subletting like you do in India. So I cannot live with other people in the same house. Technically, I can, but like the address would, the apartment I rent would be named to a single person. So when you go to, open a bank account, because obviously you want your salary. So when you go to open your account or, even to get your SIM, it's very important to have an address associated to your resident card that you will get. And basically there's a thing called my number, which is, you can say, social security number in Japan. So pretty important. They told us not to disclose it. It's that important, like really important. So yeah, not even my company will ask, but like that is only for the salary, and I'm not supposed to like basically show it to anyone. Uh, and then one thing I would really like to point out is that if you are like strict Jain or like someone who does not, or a vegan or does not eat non-veg at all, not even like egg, uh, initial time or like time you will take to settle in would be extremely difficult because
Hmm.
some people in my company are like that, like they don't eat non-veg at all, not even like egg. So it was pretty difficult for them to like settle down for in into their apartments for like first month, I would say, if not like 2 months, because you will find at least eggs in everything you eat. So it's almost impossible to, dodge it. Best option you have is like get a bread loaf and butter and get some masala from like India, which we all did. Like mix that piri piri with bread and then eat it basically.
Yeah.
That is literally what they did, and they were telling me. And but yeah, the weather is really nice. You will love it. It's unpredictable. Like it will be uh, sunny, and then next moment it will rain, and then you can experience all four seasons. That is the best thing. No doubt you will experience a lot of heat with the humidity. I mean, humidity is in Mumbai also, so I don't think you will have that problem. But like, yeah, it snows, so one good thing. And other than that, food wise and well, other than that, I don't think we will have any issues.
That sounds very interesting.
Yeah.
So you have achieved so much in your college life, from winning hackathons to having many internships. So how did the things kick off? Like, how's your journey begin?
Uh, I don't know how to put it in nice words, but honestly, it's kind of a sad story because one another friend, very close friend of mine, we had this habit of, uh, taking up work when we feel alone, basically. So it just happened that we stacked up a couple of more internships than others. There was a phase in my life when I was doing two full-time internships together for like 3 months. So, so yeah, it's honestly not that important when I talk about placements. I mean, yeah, company is important, but the number of companies you have interned in is less significant as to the quality of contribution you have made to a specific company. So if I've done let's say X amount of contribution in like one company and then X divided by seven contribution in like seven different companies, it doesn't matter. So like even if you get one internship, it should be a good internship. So basically it just gives you more opportunity to talk about projects. So what I look at internships is like it's basically projects that I can talk about. So if you have projects, then it's fine. And especially in Japan, in Japanese companies, they I mean in Indian companies, I don't think they have a trend of looking at your certifications or anything, but in Japan they look at your certifications a lot. They value your certifications, not all certifications obviously, but like certain certification which are mostly paid. uh, they like AWS, and they even make you do a specific I mean that every company does basically, but like they tend to offer you courses and so that you can stack certifications and basically increase your resume value. So so yeah, in India I would say the experience is more valued. In Japan your certifications and your skills are more valued, like if I have to talk on average. So I mean that is the difference, I guess. And not and talking about internship, it was nothing that I wanted to do more. It was just I was feeling like basically lonely. I mean that was me feeling sad, and then I had nothing to do, and I would just like do an internships.
You have worked at 7 different companies during your college years, right?
Yeah.
So can you just name them? And also, how did you land into so many opportunities and which experience did you bring them?
I don't think I can name all of them, but one was Think 360, one was Baby Code, one was Cometa Intellect. Cometa Intellect LLP was my first internship. It was a back internship, and I quitted that when I was in second year because I had just moved to Mumbai uh, for like college, and then I had stuff to do at home, and then stuff to do at internship, and then stuff to do at college. So it was a bit overwhelming, to be very honest. But now I look back, and then I think that I shouldn't have left the internship just because I was feeling overwhelmed. So it was very impulsive decision, but hey, I don't keep regret, so it's fine actually. But yeah, these are the significance one. Another one was in Infield. Infield is, I would say, a lot of people interned at Infield from
Mm.
our college actually. It's a, I would say, really nice company. It's a startup which is growing exponentially. I do often recommend people to go and intern for Infield. Work culture is really nice. They are like any startup, but like in a good way. They really encourage you, and then and honestly, it was I guess my sixth internship or something, or seventh. I don't know. It was one of my last internships that I did, and it was one of those internship when which I did when I was bored. So, but to my surprise, it was really interesting. I loved working there. They're working on really cool projects, and basically, you will learn how to learn from make stuff from scratch, especially chatbots and like passing through the narrow lines of um, so it is a medical based domain, so
Mm.
you need to be really careful of what the chatbot would say. So it's nice working on hallucinations and stuff related to LLMs and lang chains, and yeah, I think it's a really fun company to work with. I was actually looking forward to work again, but then stuff got piled up and I couldn't make time for it. But yeah, I guess it was really nice company. Like one of the good companies I interned in actually.
So that's great. Winning a national level hackathon like a SIH 2022. So how was your feeling after winning it, and what exactly was your solution and the problem statement that you
Um,
tackled?
okay, so I will start with the problem statement. It was basically from AICT. They were asking for an not really an alternative, but a solution to their long procurement process. Basically, it took around like 6 to 7 months to establish the procurement tenders and getting it approved and everything. So the main goal of our team was to lessen the time. So others were and even we thought of adding a new technologies like blockchain was booming at that time. We thought of mentioning it, but we really didn't think it would be that important. But like we kind of still used it. So, but yeah, I guess the that project actually gave us like full corporate vibes because uh, one department was almost isolated from the other department unless they had work to interact with. For example, I was working on chatbots and making that predictive model to suggest the best tenders based on XYZ criterias, and I was almost uh, unaware of what things were happening in the back end and front end. So it was not like I was not interested in the project, but the things that we were supposed to do were so much that we couldn't get the time or leisure work time to ask others ki अरे क्या चल रहा है and everything because we were like caught up in our own work. So, but yeah, it was really interesting because then again, we corporate feeling and you at some point you start liking that feeling because you want to work with your own pace. I like working alone, like or with minimum interaction. Not really interaction, but like I don't like explaining what I'm doing a lot of times to others. So I usually prefer working alone on a specific part, if not domain. So yeah, but then it took a lot of time to get the final product. And obviously we almost completed the uh, project before the actual hackathon because there's no way you can complete the project on the day of hackathon. So like I said, I always say a lot of people ask me about SIH, and I always say that it's a key advantage if you know the problem statement in depth, and I cannot stress on this. It goes for everything actually. Whatever problem you're solving, it's better if you know the problem actually. So yeah, I did we did a lot of research on the problem statement and then pulled few contacts actually, and then got to know what actually happens. Because the thing with procurement website was that you had to be a verified a procurement or tender dealer to or a government organization to actually access the site. It was not easy to get access, but like if you know people, then it's relatively easier for you to get the information. So luckily we thanks to our teammate Kunal Chandwani, he's also in Tokyo with me. I mean, not in the same company, but he's also in Tokyo. So yeah, he was also in my team, and yeah, thanks to him that we were able to get so much information, and the whole reason we won was that we knew things that others didn't. So yeah, I guess that was it. And then winning, I guess, I mean, we honestly, I personally saw few projects that were on the same domain, and they weren't like as good as we were. So yeah, थोड़ा वहाँ पे ego आया, but yeah, थोड़ा feeling था that we will win. And then after winning, we celebrated for like 3 4 days in a hotel. And so our nodal center was in Visakhapatnam, Vizag. So we hit some beach, and we got traumatized at the beach. It's a whole different story, but like yeah, it was fun. Like if you win SIH, I think It's not that you just win one national level hackathons, you get opportunity to participate in multiple international hackathons.
Mhm.
So one of my friends, Rosita, she won the UNESCO hackathon, and then other Dishant, you might know Dishant Zaveri, he has won
Yes,
multiple
yes.
hackathons, and also he
Mhm.
also participated in UNESCO and then won a Singapore hackathon, Singapore India hackathon.
Mhm.
So yeah, it opens up a lot of doors, and I would say no achievement is small, honestly. But then this SIH one was a little more significant in my personal life. So yeah.
Uh, Means like from your experience, it is very evident that you have on multiple hackathons and also including being in the top 10 at the EY Techathon, right? So
Yeah.
what strategies or the skills do you think are the keys for, winning hackathons, or let's say how to prepare for those kind of, outside hackathons?
Uh, I think if I have to talk about preparing for hackathon, um, if you're going at a if for example if you're targeting a multinational like as a hackathon or like a hackathon organized by an MNC like EY or stuff, it's better to go with a team that you have already worked with, because you don't want to, you don't want that phase of knowing the other not really knowing, but like knowing how the other person comfortable working with. And uh, so once you become more used to work with a certain type of person, you work smoothly. You don't have to point certain things out. So certain things becomes obvious. So if I am working with my usual team, it's very obvious that I will do this. The response will be in this format. They expect a response in this format, and then stuff like that. So things are better. I would say preparation wise, uh, it's honestly fine if you don't know a lot of stuff, because in many hackathons I didn't know a lot of stuff. Let's say, for example, I guess it was in some hackathon where I used IVR. I had zero idea how to use IVR, but then you can figure it out, honestly. You just need to be good at Googling. That's the crux of it. So yeah, I think preparation wise isn't a lot other than practicing that you can do, but that comes with experience, and you cannot like literally force yourself to practice one thing. You need to be, you know, uh, you need to be like sufficient enough to think in like XYZ scenario. So that out of the box thinking comes with experience. And yeah, spam hackathons, I guess. Hackathon season will be coming next year, like starting year. I think whoever is in like especially in second, third year, the spam hackathons. It's even if you don't make it in top 10, it's fine. You will learn a lot of things that you don't even learn at internships or like code along projects. So yeah, I think that is it for that.
So cracking the highest placement package at DJ Sangvi, what was your key strategies that you used while getting to the placement process?
It's a funny topic. I I really talk about it, but I was honestly when JTP first came, it came for like a internship, I guess. It comes to colleges 2 times a year. First time for internships, they have this thing called a golden ticket, where they basically sponsor everything, your stay, food, everything, commute, everything, flights, everything for 1 month. But I think they are restricting it to a certain colleges. uh, this is the last time I talked to my manager, but then yeah, more on that later. But yeah, the second time it came, I thought I would skip, but I just out of the blue filled the form, and then so you have to submit your resume. That is the first step. I submitted my first the first step for submitting the resume, and at, honestly, to my surprise, I got shortlisted because it was the resume which had like minimum things which I could have said. But yeah, I got shortlisted, and then there was a test, and 12 people were supposed to give test out of everyone who applied in like our college. So I was thinking of skipping that too. But then one of my friends, uh, Alokita, she suggested that there's no harm in giving the test. So I said, fair enough. There's nothing that I have to do on that day. Might as well give the test. And then honestly, randomly test there. It has that test is supposed to be difficult, and just I had zero hopes, huh? And then this thing happened, and then it took some while. They released their results, and we were actually on our BE trip. And one morning in Manali, I got a message that me and my other friend that I talked about, Kunal, and then one other guy from EXTC were shortlisted for further process. Now then the process starts. So they give you it. The process basically lasts for like 5 months, and they mentioned it in their you know uh, hiring message that they would have sent on WhatsApp that this things happen. So to, it usually takes 3 to 4 months, and but then in our case, I think it was a bit delayed. So I think the last person would be me, who was placed from the college, if I'm not wrong. And I had an offer earlier, but I was not really satisfied with that offer. So um, it was like I will get eliminated abhi every week, and this continued for like 5 months. And then finally, after I lost count after how many presentations, after how many technical rounds, I don't even remember how it happened, but it happened somehow. And then finally, I was in front of, so they have a board of directors where you finally present yourself and give
Hmm.
a short introduction of yourself. I think I'm supposed to say that, but like still, ठीक है. So basically, yeah, you give your final CEO panel interview, and then if you're lucky enough, you get shortlisted and placed. And yeah, I think it was to whoever is watching, placement is honestly luck based. Don't stress on placements. मेरा भी luck based था. Don't think कि मतलब कुछ ज्यादा किया था मैंने. And people keep texting me, and don't text me on LinkedIn asking what JTP, because you can actually get eliminated. I keep on saying this to people. So so it's okay if you text me, I will tell you this, but it's not okay if you text my manager or my senior, because they will eliminate you. So yeah, one guy did this mistake and then he got eliminated, who was in our batch. So I know people and they actually do it. They take your consents, your bonds really seriously. So, very unlike India, actually.
A few moments later.
Continue with the next question. So, as a chairperson at Synapse and BE mentor, what
Hmm.
were your key responsibilities and how did these roles help to shape your own leadership skills and other skills as well?
Hmm. I I- I would like to give a lot of credits to Synapse, actually. For specifically, not for like, I mean, yeah, for like getting to know ML, that too, but like more specifically making me an extrovert. So I was honestly like a really bad introvert when the college started. I didn't feel any form of any committee. I was like, jacket by nahi karna kuch bhi. But then it happened that I gave interviews of Synapse, and then I was in CoCom, and then I got a little too involved, and then next thing I know, next year I was in core, and then I had to speak. So I cannot like back out and say like I will not speak or something. So initially it kind of forced me to speak, but then it shifted me from a type of person who was like say a few words to a type of person who does not stop talking. So
Wow.
I think that is one of the biggest change that Synapse made in me.
Hmm.
And honestly, I'm lacking. I can't complain because I can hold a conversation, and I can actually know the guy or the person I'm talking to. So I think it comes handy. Knowing how to talk and start a conversation and keep a conversation, I think is a good thing. I can't complain.
So like having participated in so many hackathons, which was the main and the most exciting project that you had been a part of?
Oh, SIH hands down. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
One of the, and next, I would say EY. EY was really good. It was really good.
Uh, can you discuss the challenges and rewards of being a freelance software developer, particularly in remote setting?
Uh, Particularly what?
In remote setting.
Oh, I think
Hmm.
freelancing is something everyone should go for. I mean, who doesn't love money? So it's a easy way to, not really easy, but like, I mean, if you think you're good at something, doesn't matter. Like, you don't need to be extremely good, but you need to start somewhere. So freelancing was, again, it was something which I started when I was bored. A lot of things that I did was when I was bored. But like freelancing is actually good because then you know how to deal with clients, how to make them understand what they actually need, because it has happened a lot of times that they will say they want this thing, but actually they want some other thing. Similar, but like kind of different implementation wise. So you learn how to talk with clients, how to deal them, how to manage deadlines. You are kind of your own boss type of stuff. So you can plan, it kind of increases your leadership quality and stuff like that too. So yeah, but the main advantage is that you get money and then you can handle clients actually. You can use that point in interview that and I think a lot of companies might admire it, that you know how to deal with clients, because that is hell of a job. So
Yeah.
sorry, water break.
So,
Yeah, sorry.
so how important is publishing research papers in the placement process as well as for other stuff? Like, what inspired you to write the papers?
Placements, I think not, no. The placements, I don't think no one cares about like publications in placements as far as I know. But then it honestly depends on how you are using that publication. So I had a project on VR. So there are two things I can do with it. I can just say I have a research paper published on VR, or I can say I have a project which does rah things using VR. So it depends how you are saying it, right? Um, just the publication doesn't necessarily mean that it will give you an advantage in placement process. No doubt, like in masters, obviously it will give you an advantage, but in placements, I don't think they really look for like publications. They might notice it, but I don't think it is something that they will see and say, "Ki, oh, I need to hire this guy or that girl." So yeah.
So, you have a strong background in Python web development and
Mhm.
machine learning. So, what new technologies or skills are you currently exploring or excited about mastering in your own near future?
Uh, Actually, uh, I think the most appropriate and honest answer would be cloud, because uh, I worked with the AWS when I was doing my freelancing stuff, and it's quite interesting for me personally. And that is something I would be, exploring more in the near future.
Mhm.
But if someone has not started anything, and people who are especially in second year, who are looking for like good placements, and I think a lot of people in especially in our college, DJs, we are switching to placements rather than masters, so
Yeah.
the trend is changing. I would
Mm.
say it's better if you target tech stacks like Java or React Next.js also works, and like any good uh, like online other online database other than MongoDB. Uh, so Cassandra is there and stuff like that. Even um, even SQL works honestly because
Hmm.
it usually works on a similar lines. So SQL is basically something that you learn in college. So it's not like something extra that you're learning. So, and it's not that difficult. Even if you know nesting and like stuff like that, it's more than enough, I think. And inner joins, I don't think anyone has asked more to me more than this. So yeah, that's it. The cloud in India, cloud is actually really valued as a skill. So if you know cloud, it might happen that you like land yourself a job relatively easily. I'm not saying it's easy, but because in India there's a lot of competition, honestly. So
Hmm.
so yeah, you need to keep on polishing your skills and just be good at one thing rather than picking up multiple things. Even if you're just
Right.
good at one thing, they will pay a hefty amount of money to you just to get you on their team.
Right.
Yeah.
So you had mentioned about AI-powered chatbot
Yeah.
and other blockchain solutions. So what was the most fun and challenging part in those projects?
Mm, it would be the one I did in Infiheal. Uh, Really complex. It took me a week to understand what the code base was. Like 1 week, as in like full 7 days, I had to, spend at least 6 to 8 hours to, like understand कि यार क्या हो रहा है. So not like it was messy, but like it was complicated and very sophisticated, which I like. So there's no like no like this thing. I don't think I can find a correct word, but like a similar word would be bad thing in writing such complex codes, because once you get used to understanding complex code and take your time to understand the code base, that is when you know that you're getting a little corporate ready. Because if you land yourself a job in like an MNC or like a already established uh, company, so they will already have a code base, a very complex one, more complex than in field, I might say. So it's you need to, you should be able to read documentations. For God's sake, I cannot stress on this. Read on documentation. Don't just Stack Overflow everything. I mean, yeah, if you have doubt, Stack Overflow, Reddit, but like go for documentations. It's a lot simpler and useful. Or like go at least to a GitHub README and then search for your doubts there, because it might happen they have an open pull request, and contribute to open source. It's good.
So how, like you mentioned about contributing in open source and using GPT to like prompt engineering to simplify our tasks. So is it that important for that prompt engineering can replace us?
No, no, I have done that. Not in near future. You don't have to worry about AI taking your jobs. AI is ridiculously silly. So you have to be. If I talk about prompt engineering, if anyone knows prompt engineering and who is watching this would know that you need to be very specific, and then you need to be very careful about the AI hallucinating, because it might have. So in Infield there was one case where if you ask the chatbot to, a couple of times to don't do something, it will eventually end up doing that thing. So you need to be, more understanding of how AI and how it will take your commands. There are certain rules that you can use certain words like strictly or write it in bolds. I mean, it depends from chatbot to chatbot. So yeah, I don't think prompt engineering will come anywhere close to your job. Don't worry. Yeah.
Now, for the current students of our DJ Sangvi or any people, they are, going into internships, they are going for hackathons, and also they are, trying to balance the academics. Whereas this would have done in your case, right? So,
Hmm.
what's your secret and how did you manage your time so effectively?
Uh, Okay, so I'm pass out, I can say. I rarely attended college, and even my faculty knew it. So the thing is, if you are really doing something and you have something to show that you are doing certain thing, ultimately college का नाम अच्छा होगा. They want you to do good, right? If you are not doing something, they would want you to sit in the lectures. Okay, so a bit of talking and a bit of using correct words at correct situation, I think would be to would be the key to manage. But honestly, it depends on department too. Some departments and some academic subjects do require you to invest more, study hours. It's
Yeah.
not like that. In some situations that it is possible that if you spend, let's say, 1 day of study, you can score a good amount of marks in the exam. But in certain situations, it doesn't. So there was one optional subject, CFM, in final year. It single-handedly dropped my pointer. Not just my pointer, but like everyone else pointer. Everyone was in like 9 pointer, 10 pointer in rest of the subjects, and that pointer and that subject CFM was at 7 pointer, and the whole average went like whoop, and we were like, "Bhai, ye kya ho gaya?" And then the funny part is, combining all the five subjects, we didn't study like that amount of time that we invested in CFM. So yeah, it really depends on the subject and the branch too. So I can't really give a very fixated and specific answer, but like it depends from person to person and the situation that person is in. So yeah.
Yeah. So as we all know that hackathon season is coming up. So what's that one piece of advice that you want to give to students who want to participate in hackathons?
Or don't get sad or depressed, or like don't stop participating in hackathon, I would say. It's not a good idea that if you're thinking that I will skip the hackathon and then not do that. I think everyone should actually participate in hackathon, because after every hackathon which we didn't win, we were like, भाई अभी तो code ही नहीं करेंगे. But then the next hackathon we immediately register कि भाई करेगा क्या, and then everyone is like, yeah, in कर जल्दी register. So yeah, it's understandable that you feel low, and then you might feel like, अरे क्या है, I don't want to participate anymore. But like the whole point is that you don't give up, because once you do, then it's really difficult to get back up. And even honestly, abhi, when I am starting my job, it's honestly been a while since I last coded. I guess last was for my technical interview in JTP, and then it has been like 5 to 6 months if I'm not wrong, and then I'm already losing my touch. So it's really important that you keep in touch with the tech stuff. Doesn't matter if you make a to-do list 10 times, just be in touch so that you know what's happening, and then stuff like that.
So lastly, what advice would you give to the students who are just starting their tech journey? Like just let's say they are in first year or second year also, because they are very much behind academics. So they are like नहीं मेरे को academics ही करना है.
Okay.
But how you would like to make them a bit inspiring about your journey by giving an example.
uh Honestly, I don't think मैंने इतना कुछ उखाड़ा that you will be inspired from me. But if you want to know what I think I should have done when I was in first year and second year, first year was obviously join good committees and try for it, because on you might think that they will say it's not necessary, and honestly it's not compulsory that you join any committee or club or team. But it's really good if you join, because you learn two things, or actually three things. One is management of time, second is the tech stacks or the tech things, and then third is exposure to people, working with people. And all these three things are important, really important in your life, no matter if you're going for masters or placements. uh, and please do DSA. I was lucky that I got this job, but then it might happen that some other person is not lucky, because everyone cannot be lucky. So go for DSA, join Code Shastra, Not Code Shastra. Code Shastra was the hackathon. I'm really bad with names. Code Star.
Road
Code Stars. Yeah,
stars.
yeah, yeah. I was actually in Code Stars. I was in Creatives team, but I guess right committee but wrong team. Should have been in tech team. But yeah, anyways, you can. I think a lot of people should join Code Stars because you need a DSA to make your life easy, especially for people who are going for placements and even for like people going for masters, because eventually you will have to face it. So masters, I think, in my opinion, is just you skipping your DSA to interview ka phase for like 2 years or 1.5 years essentially. So yeah, you will have to do it. It's better if you do it now and get to know a lot of people, spam people on LinkedIn for connections, because you never know when the contact or the person who is in contact on with you on LinkedIn might help you with anything actually, for getting an internship or like a job, even a job. I've seen people who just with good amount of LinkedIn collection connections and know how to talk and a decent amount of skills, uh, landed like around 30-40 LPA in like in India, which is honestly really really good salary to start with. And yeah, I think essentially that's it. And if anytime you're feeling stuck or confused how to go about things, it's a good idea that you talk to a senior. And this is where the committee part comes in, that if you're in a committee, you already know of certain seniors, so you are more comfortable with talking with them and asking like, "Arey, I'm in this situation, what did you do?" Because you're not special. Everyone is in the same situation or had been in the same situation. It's better if you ask someone who has already, like, agar mere se koi puchega, I would give the best to my knowledge. Because when I was in first year, second year, like I said, I didn't join any committee, so I had no senior to talk to. So the decisions, it's not a hard regret, but it would have been nice if the decisions I made were slightly better. So yeah.
Um, Thank you, Sarthak, for joining the podcast, and we are looking forward to your success.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So let's come to the end of this podcast. And again, once again, taking out your time and reaching out to us and sharing your knowledge and your experience. It was quite an amazing thing of meeting with you, Sarthak. And we hope a great future for you.
Thank you. Both were amazing hosts. Thanks, Sanskriti. Thanks, Krishi.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, share, comment, and subscribe to our podcast. And also, if you have anything, you can ask us in the comment section below or just tag us on LinkedIn. Thank you.